Batgirl Year 1, we find Batgirl covering her ears as the glass above her shatters as some goon has grabbed a hold of Black Canary and now the canary starts chirping. But as Black Canary judo flips the big guy and tosses him into a tree, in the midst of all the chaos, Killer Moth and Firebug start making off with Commissioner Gordon. As Batgirl rushes towards the door, Canary grabs her by the cape and pulls her down as there's a big-ass explosion that almost takes her head off. By the time they get outside, Black Canary's bike is toast. But luckily, somebody gifted Batgirl a Batcycle. Batgirl thinks back to a conversation she had with Robin as Robin gave her the bike. She asks if Batman's behind this, but Robin tells her, "You gotta be kidding." Then on top of that, Robin kinda likes Batgirl, and Batgirl kinda knows it. But as Batgirl takes the bike for a spin, Batman watches from up above as he asks Robin if she still believes he's the only one supplying her. Batgirl thinks Batman wants her to fail, but Batman simply wants her to stay alive until she wises up and quits. But as Black Canary and Batgirl are in hot pursuit, Canary tells Batgirl to make sure she leans in with her turns. Firebug would set off a huge explosion to block their path, but Batgirl drives up onto a tree branch and leaps through the fire in order to continue the chase. But earlier that day, as Tony Bersetti is at his hideout, he would order Firebug and Killer Moth to take Commissioner Gordon hostage, but he's also planning to double-cross them as he looks at Killer Moth and Firebug as a bunch of bozos. As Commissioner Gordon sits in his office with another cop, he would be going over what is essentially a protection racket for protection. Basically, the robbers are now robbing the robbers, and if you don't pay up, you get robbed and your business gets lit up. Commissioner Gordon tells one of the younger cops to keep his head down because Tony Bersetti has a short fuse. But as Gordon forgets his coat inside, the younger officer goes in to retrieve it. But as he grabs Gordon's coat, next thing you know, someone tosses a grenade in the building. Gordon is knocked back by the explosion, but he still rushes inside the building to help any surviving officers. Gordon grabs the young officer, but someone sneaks up from behind and incapacitates him. They then shoot the young officer and make for the exit. As Batgirl is riding through Gotham on her Batcycle, she would pick up a disturbance on comms. She triangulates the location and heads to the site of the incident. Meanwhile, as Canary is in the Arrow Cave, as Green Arrow wants to get freaky, Canary tells him to keep it in his quiver as she's in this relationship for the long haul. But Canary would hop on her bike and head to the site of the disturbance where she would encounter several firefighters. Unfortunately, the situation's getting even worse as there's another big explosion causing the firefighters to retreat. But Barbara Gordon sneaks onto the ambulance to talk to one of the cops that she knows. He tells her that her dad has been taken hostage, and he gives her a possible location. Barbara puts on her mask as she gets ready to hop on the Batcycle and mobilize. But before she can, somebody grabs her, somebody that just happens to be Black Canary. Firebug and Killer Moth watch from the rooftop as Black Canary and Batgirl team up. But in present time, as Canary and Batgirl are still in hot pursuit, Firebug pulls out an automatic weapon and tries to spray the ladies, but Commissioner Gordon kicks him in the leg. Canary grabs Batgirl and leaps off the bike, and Batgirl thinks to herself that they've teamed up for less than an hour and Canary has already saved her so many times. Meanwhile, back at Tony Bersetti's place, Killer Moth busts in a door with Commissioner Gordon in hand. Now Tony Bersetti is like, "What the fuck? I thought I told you guys to stash him at the greenhouse." But as Batgirl and Black Canary show up, they get apprehended as they end up in the clutches of Killer Moth, Firebug, and Tony Bersetti. To be continued.